Welcome to Off the Core. We are a group of elective teachers who are finally hitting that record button to create a podcast.
This podcast is by educators for all educators. If you're an EA, first year, veteran, or anyone interested in school life, you can learn a little something while you listen.
Like and subscribe to join us for some inspirational stories, exciting activities, and classroom lesson ideas. It's time for real talk from the other side of the schedule.
This is Off the Core.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Off the Core. I'm Miss Martinez, and today we're visiting our very last co-host's classroom, and we're in the hallway, which her classes always start because she has this lovely little sign right here. Miss Legarda's class lineup right here, and you're going to see how amazing she has her classroom decorated. She loves making her posters, and they are beautiful. But let's go ahead and go on inside and let's meet Miss Legarda.
Hi. Welcome to the classroom where all the magic happens. This is my board. It's empty, but this is my agenda board that will be filled in maybe next week. This will be my student art wall that will maybe happen by the end of the year.
So I really love your borders. I know you got them at the end of last year.
Yes.
And I just absolutely love them, how bright and welcoming they are. And I can't wait to see all your students' art because you teach media and they do amazing stuff in here. What grades do you teach, by the way?
For media, it's just 6th grade, and then I teach yearbook, which is 7th through 8th, and maybe a 6th grader if they got some privileges. And then I teach gifted, which is just 6th grade.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Let's continue on the tour.
The kids do love the lemons. They're like, "Oh, miss, you're the lemon teacher." And I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "You love lemons?" I was like, "No, it's just pretty and I bought it."
When life gives you lemons.
Exactly. And then, so this is my menial board. I use this all the time to help teach my lessons with my kids. I use Canva to make it. I have my 4th period put their binders in here because I'm making binders. So in their binders, it's going to have all their notes, all their past work, all their pre-production, post-production information, little anchor charts. So it's all in one spot. So it's going to be like their little movie binder, Bible kind of thing.
Nice.
These are my yearbook computers.
Ooh, nice and new, right?
Yes, super
This
nice
year?
and new. I like them. Yes. Yeah, so these are my yearbook computers. I had my student make me a smart pass sign so that kids can stop asking me, "Miss, how do we do the smart pass?" So I was like, we're from this classroom to the bathroom. And then I made a bell schedule so that my kids can know when we leave, and also so I can know when we leave so we can start packing up and maybe not be late every day.
See, amazing poster design. Look at that, super cute. Consistency with the lemons.
Yes.
Top tier.
Thank you. I have an advisory poster, and those are limes, so the kids can tell the difference. And so this is supposed to be my yearbook section. So like my yearbook poster about fonts and what it means. And then my yearbook color palette, some finding focus. I have plans to put yearbook posters up here so that they can refer back to them. But I'm thinking about not putting them up because I don't want to cover them during testing. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll put inspirational yearbook posters.
Yeah.
And all my desks are always in groups because I have my kids always work in groups, because when you make movies, when you make yearbooks, you're always in a group. So that's why they're here. They don't always like it. They're like, "I don't like it." And I was like, well, this is what we got to do, man. You're not going to make a movie all by yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, but it'd be very hard.
difficult.
Yes. And so this corner is my corner. I don't like the kids to go back there, but they do like to go visit me in there and just sit by me. This is another yearbook poster. This is just an Avatar poster because I like Avatar, The Last Airbender. This is all my kids' artwork that I intend to hang up someday. Today I just got a little purse that a kid made me because she made it in her class, and she's like, "Miss, I made it for you." And I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet, thank you." And so yeah, and then I have a fan because I'm always hot. And don't mind the mess on my desk. The ADHD kicks in sometimes, and I just gotta go with it. The desk does cause some anxiety to my students. They're like, "Miss, can I just clean your desk?" And I was like, "Sure. I mean, if that's what you want to do after you're done working, go ahead. But I do try to keep it clean. They did clean it Monday, and then we see what happens.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things is like when you're a teacher, you're focusing more on the students and the learning that's happening in your classroom.
Yeah.
And you always take a side project for your stuff and your own things. So I'm just like, I totally understand because that's exactly how I have. Like, I have an office, but is it an office? No, it's storage right now.
Yeah.
So I just have a little cart as my desk.
Yes.
So understandable.
I always think I'm like, oh, I'm going to organize it, but then I'm like stuck at a group, and then the next group, and then the next group, and then by the time I know, I was like, oh, guys, we're all done. We need to go clean up before we're late. This desk is supposed to be my best friend desk. So whenever a friend in my classroom needs to be my special best friend, we come sit here to help either regulate our emotions, or this desk is also like if kids just want to sit by me.
Velcro kids.
Yes. I have this desk for those because I was tired of them like sitting right here by my face.
In your bubble.
In my bubble. I was like, I need to breathe. Can we back up? So this is their desk. And then I usually tell them if it's super dirty that I'm not in a best friends day mode. And then if it's clean, you can sit there. And then sometimes I do have kids fight over it. So I'm like, well, today it can be you. Tomorrow it can be you. We got to take turns kind of thing. I do have my computer for work so that I could do all my work stuff, like take my notes and stuff, answer emails. I have a lot of containers. I try to be organized. I was trying really hard this year. And so I bought out, like, Walmart had no more because I bought them all one day. And so I just have my stuff organized, like my papers. These are some things I need to put away. My laminator, my extra keyboards. I, for some reason, bought like 10 keyboards for fun because I like keyboards. And then this corner is my stuff. So I gotta take home eventually. This is my drawer of stuff that the kids can't touch. I have like things that are expensive that are not allowed to touch. I did buy some microphones for my kids. They're like cheap dollar microphones because we do this thing called birthday interviews. And so the kids get microphones to pretend to be paparazzis to ask them the questions. And then my birthday kids get my karaoke mics so that they can be heard throughout the whole class.
And honestly, I've been recently seeing that in a lot of classrooms that they are now establishing these birthday routines and rituals to build that classroom culture. And I think because you teach media, having your like special birthday interviews, I love the idea. I love it so much. I'm like, how can I change this to computer science?
Yeah, so I record their birthday interviews, and then I'm going to edit the other kids' face out and then send it to their parents. And then at the end of the year, I'm going to make a video of like our year through birthdays.
Oh, that's so cute.
I also brought a little printer that's a thermal one. I don't know where it's at now, but I have it here somewhere. And I can print pictures of the kids from my phone, and then I'm planning on giving it to them.
Nice. For my birthday things that I give, I made stickers where it's like, today's my birthday, and all I got was this stupid sticker from Ms. Martinez.
I like that. That's
but
cute, though.
they're all made of different types of memes. So.
Oh, I like memes.
Yeah, me too.
So I have a printer there, but that's out of ink, and then I have a printer here. It's also out of ink. So I'm probably going to buy another printer or something like that because that's what I do. This is their turn-in stuff. I was trying to be super organized. So they have like the period they're in, papers I got to pass back once I'm graded, and then the absent bin. So if they're absent, they can just grab all the worksheets from there. And they also have to check Canvas because Canvas is where I keep most of our stuff. So this is my yearbooks. Then it says chicken noodles because I didn't want to buy another box, and so I just took that from Walmart. And I asked first. I was like, "Can I just have the box?" And they're like, "Yeah." I used to have a shrimp one for my advisory, and so my kids were like, "Miss, are we shrimp or chicken?" I was like, "You're chicken today." So that's that. I have posters up for. I didn't make any of these. I bought these, but then I laminated them with my own laminator. I have posters of like elements of story. Since I am a media teacher, we do need to learn how to write a story. So right now that's what we're kind of focusing on. And then I have this desk is not a student desk. It's a Miss, I need help. My whole group needs help, and then we all come sit here to brainstorm and talk, kind of thing. Instead of having them stay in their seats, so that they know I'm busy with someone instead of just like sitting by the kids. They all come here. This is also my yearbook section. This is where my editor sits and my assistant editor for my yearbook sit, because this is their office.
Oh, nice.
Now, this is their designated spot. And then I have a Film Prize Junior poster because last year we entered Film Prize Junior. I don't know if you could see the one we did, but we did actions have consequences. And they were able to go to Albuquerque for that. This side is my media side. I have one poster up because it was already framed. So I need to frame my other posters and they will be up. And so I don't have to cover these or take them down for testing. They're all going to be motivational quotes kind of thing. I have another binder section for my next class so that I don't have all the binders close together so that each class doesn't get confused.
And they know where their specific area is in the classroom?
Yeah. So this is my second, that's my fourth, that's my fifth and seventh. My fifth and seventh are together because there's like 15 kids in each class, so it's not that many. I keep our tripods here for when we are going to use our cameras. And then these are my Macs. Well, they're not mine. These are the school's Macs that I get to use. I did actually buy all of these keyboards for the kids. And I bought one in almost every color just so I'm like, hey, you're working on the turquoise computer. You're working on the purple computer. Because I don't want to say, hey, you're working on the Mac. They're like, which one? So the keyboard always stays with the computer. And the kids will be like, Miss, I call it the pink computer. I was like, the pink computer is yours for the rest of the year. And so I know who's what and where.
Oh, nice. Yeah, when I came in, I was like, ooh, I like these a lot. They're super cool. I wish that we can do color coordinated things in all things. That's for my, I really like cool. A lot.
And the kids actually really like these keyboards. And I was like, guys, these were the cheapest keyboards I found. They're like $15. And
For
then
the set, that's not bad at all.
No, and they're Bluetooth, so which is really cool. I just wish they had more colors. Because this is all the colors they had.
Gotta spray paint them.
Well, I don't want to ruin them.
It'll give a character. Or maybe it'll just make the keys stick together.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't want to break them. I don't want to have to buy more.
I mean, we can always disassemble it and put it back together so it doesn't stick. But
or you can have just
A
Miss
little too much
Martinez 3D print you some more.
that's true.
I guess we could do that. But yeah, this is my classroom. This is where the kids learn how to make movies and create the yearbook. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for the great tour. I love it. This actually used to be the esports room way back in the day, so bringing back memories. So
I think I kicked you out because they said this was the esports room, and I was like, not anymore because it's my classroom now.
Well, we were always going to be moving closer to the other side because before my class and this class is actually pretty far on our campus. So they're like, let's try to get you closer. And then I got the big room for computer science, and like, you can be in the same room.
That's
Perfect.
a nice room.
That way they can see your computers.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the tour.
Of course.
But it's late on a Friday. We're gonna go ahead and head out. So
I'll see you guys later.
Whoop whoop.
Hopefully by the end of the year we can do another room tour, and I will have stuff on my walls.
yeah, I would love to do another room tour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
You actually have to leave.
Oh. Okay. We'll
Like,
get
that's
out of here
That's
then.
how bye works.
Bye.
Shoot. Scram. Get out.
We get it. Bye.
Bye.
So we are here with Miss Legarda. Thank you so much for your classroom tour. Like I said before, I think it's so amazing. I love the consistency that you have, and I'm always looking forward to come to your room because it just is so bright. I love it.
Yes. A lot of people have actually said that, like, Miss, your classroom's the brightest. I was like, yes, guys. I like to be bright, to be happy.
Yeah. I do have a few students who be like, Miss, why is your room so bare? And I'm like, they're like, we're almost the Legarda's. Your room is pretty sick. Like, have you seen all the different colors and how everything matches? I'm like, we're getting there, guys.
We're working on it.
Yeah. It's just the beginning of the year. Come on, give me a break. But once again, thank you. So we do have a few questions for you that your adoring public want to know. So I guess my first question to you is, from your teaching history, we know that you've taught elementary, middle school, and high school, and right now you're in middle school. Can you give us a brief explanation of your experience between those different grades, and are you going to be staying in middle school for the rest of your career?
I'm going to be staying in middle school for the foreseeable future, the rest of my career. So when I was teaching elementary, it was mostly just gifted seminars, so I would pull them out for a full day and like do lessons, and I would have to pull out kindergartens by themselves, and then second, third, and fourth, and fifth kind of thing. And then in high school, I taught English to 9th graders, and then I was an advisor for 9th through 12th grade. And so I'd help 12th graders try to apply for college, making sure that they pick the schools, they have the GPA, I would write recommendation letters, and then teach kids how to write papers in 9th grade. But it's drastically different in the elementary school when I taught, because I only had them one day a week. And as much as I love them, I was very happy to have it one day a week, because I do like the ability to change each time, to like try that lesson over again instead of staying with them all day. I need the novelty kind of thing with the new kids. I'm like, oh, what are these kids gonna say now? Kind of thing. And then in high school, it's a little weird because they are like, well, I'm in high school, I'm like an adult, I can do things. And I was like, kind of. Yes, you're not an adult. That's not true. But you are older and you are a little bit more responsible. So it is a little bit more interesting and also they're taller than you, or they're taller than me, for sure. And so it would be awkward being in the hall because the kids were like, Miss, I just thought you were the teacher, or like the student. And I was like, no, I'm the teacher. You guys are supposed to listen to me. They're like, oh, but you're so little. And I was like, thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
So you went from elementary to high school?
I did it both at the same time.
Oh, that's interesting.
So as a gifted educator, I am assigned certain schools. And so like my first year, I was assigned a leadership academy, which was just middle school, and then I was assigned a elementary school, which was just like K through 12, and then I was assigned a high school. So, but I would stay at the high school most of the time, but then I would just go once a week to the other schools.
Oh, okay.
And then after I left the high school, while I was at the high school, I was also at a K through 8 school. So I was the facilitator for all of those grades during high school.
So you said middle school is your, right now for the foreseeable future, your forever grade levels. What makes middle school your bread and butter, I should say?
So I feel like middle school is my bread and butter, mostly because they're in that in-between stage. And yeah, they're super emotional sometimes, but it's really cool to like help them through that. And also I feel like I can understand them a bit more, I guess, because they're in that stage where they're like, oh no, I gotta behave, but then they're also like trying to be like, no, I'm a middle schooler, I can do what I want. It's like, no, but I gotta behave. So it's in that weird spot. And also, I feel like with middle schoolers, they are sarcastic, and I can be a little bit sarcastic, and I can be like dramatic and crazy, and the kids are like, oh, Miss, you're so weird, but then they think it's funny. If I did that in high school, they'd be like, nah, you for real's weird. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, the kids here in middle school have a little bit more buy-in when you're acting a little crazy. And with you being in media, I mean, having those extra like drama moments in the classroom, I think it also gives that little extra push to your lesson. So I'm just like, why not?
Yes, I do like adding drama to each lesson, because I think when I'm super dramatic, they pay more attention. And I also like to be an example, like, so, because they're gonna eventually have to be in front of the camera, and they're like, Miss, I'm too shy. And I was like, guys, we're all gonna have to do it eventually. We're gonna build that confidence. So like, I don't want to embarrass myself, and I will like do something super funny or embarrassing to the kids. They're like, Miss, you're so weird. I was like, yeah, it was also super embarrassing, but I'm okay. We're gonna be fine, kind of thing.
That's awesome. With being a media teacher and with your experience, what do you feel is your teaching superpower in the classroom?
So my teaching superpower is not as much teaching And it's more of like, I make really pretty posters and really pretty slides.
I mean, that's super important because now with our digital age, students, their attention spans are like, what, a gnat? And they're like 5 seconds, more like 2 or 1. So if you have good slides that catch their attention, that helps them with their learning process. So
that could be it. And I also like to color code things for the kids, especially when we're like learning basics. I'm like, this is one basic, it's this color. And so if I put it in a certain color, like, oh, I know that goes there, kind of thing. And the kids really have appreciated that so far. But I do like building lessons, making things super interactive, having a video, a lesson, an activity, all in one kind of thing.
nice. Since you mentioned color coding, there was a trend going around about students in our age, when they would be in middle school or high school, that they had colored binders or folders for different classes. What color did you have, like your core classes, math, science, ELA, and history?
So science was green,
Okay.
math was red,
Okay.
ELA was blue, and then social studies was yellow for me. Like, I don't think that's what my teacher said, but that's what I did.
Okay.
So those are my things.
So, my next question for you is: imagine yourself going back in time, and you are seeing yourself back in your first year in teaching. What is one piece of advice you would give yourself in order to help you achieve to what you've gotten so far earlier?
I honestly don't know if I would tell myself to do it earlier, because I do know my first year I went a little wild trying to get everything done. So I was teaching 9th grade English as well as gifted. I was taking my alternative licensure program, but I wasn't taking like 12 hours. I was taking 18 credit hours. And then I was taking, I was taking 18 credit hours, teaching full time. And I still had that mandatory new teacher, other lesson things that we had to go to. And I was also taking classes for my gifted seminar, or my gifted endorsements. So I was taking another like 12 hours there. So it was super hard that first year because I was doing everything. So I would honestly just tell myself, like, you don't have to do everything right away. Like, you could have taken your time. Because I got my alternative license program, and I also decided to get the master's part with it as well. And so I took all of those classes in 2 years.
Oh, wow.
It's like, I was like, no, I'm just going to get it done. And so I did that, and then I got my gifted endorsement in like a year, because I had to take, I think, 24 classes, or 24 credit hours for that too. So I took 12 and 12. And then,
A busy person your first few years.
I was super busy. Well, not my first few years. It was literally just my first year because I did everything at once because I was like, I'm just going to get it done. But it was super hard, and I don't recommend doing that. Like, you can take your time. Eventually, you're still, like, I was going to be a teacher anyways. I didn't have to rush
the process.
Rush to get it all done kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you were not a teacher, what kind of other career would you be pursuing or would be in?
This is a tricky question because I just like so many things. Recently, because it changes all the time, I think I would like to be a graphic designer because I really enjoy making the posters, making the presentations. I'm also wanting to be like a writer. Not a book writer because I don't know how to write books, but I mean, I do know how to write books, but I don't like to do it. Screenplay writer, because screenplay writing is drastically different from book writing, and so I do enjoy screenplay writing. I have written a few horror shorts that I don't show people, and then I've also written a comedy sketch, which I also don't show people. And I'm working on a movie with my friend right now.
Oh, wow.
We're on our second draft.
Oh, wow. That's really, like, for your movie, are you ever hoping that it will get picked up, or are you guys going to be filming it and sending it to showcases?
So our film happened because there was this New Mexico New Voices competition, And we applied for it and we got in. And so we went to these classes and then they helped us get our script done and like taught us some stuff. And then we actually pitched it to some directors and stuff like that. And we can go back to some of those people because they're like, hey, when you finish your second draft, give me a call. We just need to finish the second draft to get it done.
So I guess if in the next few years you're no longer a teacher and you're a famous Hollywood screenwriter,
that would be cool, but like I
don't know way to get some hookup and funding. Not a sponsor.
I don't know if I would leave teaching. I would just sell it, have money, and then spend it on my classroom to make more movies.
Furniture, buy a house.
Oh yeah, I forgot about a house. But I think I really enjoy making movies with the students. Because I was a gifted seminar teacher before, and that was really fun. But I love movies, and I went to school for movies, and I've worked as like a background actress in LA. And then, so coming here, telling all the kids, showing them, hearing their ideas, I'm like, this makes me so excited to come back to work.
Nice. So, I guess my next question. You can take some time to think about this because even for me, I think this is hard to answer. But what is one thing that you feel has leveled up your teaching in the classroom?
One thing I feel that has leveled up my teaching is, honestly, it's so silly. I feel like, because I started doing reflections every unit just so I could see like, hey, what did I do well? Because it's not a reflection on what they learned, it's more of a reflection like, how did I help you learn it? Were the lessons confusing? Like help me help you. And the kids would be like, well, miss, this was a little hard to understand. And I was like, oh, okay, how could I have said it differently? And they're like, well, I think I learned it better this way. And I was like, okay, so I take that information down. And then so I revise my lessons to do that, to work on that. Because I do know that I tend to overcomplicate things, or I'm like, oh, these are all these ideas, let me just put it all in one. It's like, well, that's not how this works. And so I do that often, and I do find that really has helped me teach every year because the kids understand it a little bit quicker, and they're like, and there's less struggle for all of us to do that. So I do like the reflecting thing.
I've actually never thought about having students reflect on the lesson. I've always just reflected on myself and been like, okay, in class, this seemed very confusing for students, maybe revisit it. But I've never actually had students reflect on it. So I'm just like, oh, that is a great idea. Coming from the source where I'm trying to actually teach, having that as baseline.
Yeah, I like to do that, and especially if I've noticed that a lesson was super hard for kids, and I will pause literally in the middle of the lesson. I'm like, okay, let's pause real quick. You guys are understanding it, so obviously I am not explaining it as well as I could be. It's maybe I'm explaining it because I already know it, so it's easier for me. I'm like, what are we confused about? Let's break it down. And so we will break it down as a class and go through it. And they're like, okay, did that help you guys? They're like, yeah, that was better. And I was like, okay, well, we'll do that from now on. And I let them know. I was like, let me know if it's confusing so I can help you. Because most of the time I make these at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I am tired. So it can be confusing. And literally just recently, it was super confusing. I had them do a plot fairy tale activity, and they had to answer all the questions. And then for some reason, I don't know what I was thinking, for exposition, I asked 10 questions, and I was like, girl, what are you doing? That's why they're confused. I'm confused. And I gave them examples too. I answered every question, and to me, I knew what I was thinking about. I knew that each question built on each other. And while I had said each question builds on each other, they don't necessarily understand what that means yet, or how that works in story. And I was like, oh my goodness, guys. Because they would answer random things every time. I was like, no, it's still related. And so I was like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to scrap that. We're going to try it over again. I've made it better. I've done this work. Let me know if this is more helpful. If it's not, I can do it again. Kind of thing.
Very nice. So I do have 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
So one of them is, can you tell a fun fact about yourself, something that maybe your students or even your colleagues might not know about you?
Well, my students do know this one, but I just think it's a fun fact because I like to see their reactions. So I had mentioned that I was like a background actress in LA, and it wasn't like I did it often, so sometimes they would just call me. But one time the show 911 called me to background act, but I had just moved back to New Mexico, so I said no. And then like later on that week, The Big Bang Theory called me, and I also said no because I was like, I'm broke, I just moved back. But like The Big Bang Theory called me lots. Like they called me for a few days every day to like, are you sure you can't make it? I was like, I'm literally poor. No, I cannot get a flight to go to LA to work on a TV show to be a background actress.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I thought the kids would be more upset about Big Bang Theory, but I guess we have some really big 911 fans. They're like, you could have met Eddie Diaz? You could have met Buck? And I was like, no, because this is like season 1. I would have only met Buck, not Eddie Diaz. And I thought it was the funniest thing because one student was like, Miss, you could have been on that show and then you could have married one of those hot actors. I was like, I appreciate you thinking that I could get that. But I'm like, no, that's not going to happen.
That is, like, I didn't know that. Like, when you were telling us that you background actors in LA, I was like, really?
Oh, yeah.
What? I didn't know that. So, yeah, that is really a fun fact.
Yeah. And one of my movies, I guess the editing did get in, but I have met Jack Black because of my background acting.
Nice. What movie were you in?
I don't remember what it was called. I think it was called like The Brink. It was an interesting premise. So another fun fact is that I would only get casted for Middle Eastern or East Asian roles. So we were, I forgot what we were supposed to be doing, and then he was supposed to run me over with a bike by accident. Or like maybe I just got in the way and he accidentally ran me over. But yeah, I don't remember what the episode was. I've actually never watched that show that I background acted in. So
Yeah, pretty cool.
yeah.
So our last question of the day is, can you tell us one of your most memorable or most rewarding experiences that you've had in the classroom or with the students?
So I'm going to pick something that happened pretty recently, and it's not just for the student, but it is just in general. It's happened a couple times, but this is the one I was like, this is why I teach. So I had this student in my class, and they were not like a bad influence or anything. They were, I guess, like a little bit of struggling sometimes, and they didn't really like school. And this was my first time here, and they were talking to me, and they're like, Miss, you're one of the only teachers that I like connect with, I talk to. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I was like, what did I do? I don't understand. And then she actually wrote me a letter at the end of the year telling me all these things, and I was like, and it was like how much she loved me and how much she's gonna miss me and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, dang. It was like, I don't know, I've not very emotional person, and to see that and how much she liked me and stuff like that. And it wasn't just her, but like her other teachers, they're like, hey, since you got here, she's like become a more engaged student. She's super interesting. She's like, I have to do well so I can do this for her, because in my class you have to have good grades so you can go take pictures. And so she was trying hard so that she can do everything that I needed her to do. So that was really nice. And at the end of the last year and the beginning of this year, I got letters from kids just saying how much they liked my class or how much they missed me. And I was like, oh, they're so sweet.
That is really nice.
It is really nice. I do enjoy it. It's also really interesting. I pretend I don't like it when kids see me out and about. Like, especially my older kids. I pretend I'm like, ew, why are you talking to me? But afterwards, I'm like, oh, they remembered me. I had a student that I taught like 3 years ago. He saw me at Target, which was super embarrassing because it was one of my crazy hair days. And he's like, oh, miss, I was just talking about you, and we were reminiscing about what it was like in your class. And then he was telling me all about his new life, and like, well, not his new life, but like his high school life. And I was like, oh, it's sweet that you guys like remember us and like still want to talk to us.
Yeah, I think I haven't been working for this district that long, but I have seen students that I've worked with when I first started teaching my first year here in, I guess, the real world.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're old enough to work now? Like, you have a job? And just seeing them, and they, like you said, it's a reason why we are in this profession. Not for the recognition, but for, like, we were able to stay with them because of the lessons we've taught them, and they remember that.
Yes. And it's also like, not to be validation, but it's like, I actually did something. I didn't mess them up. Because that's my biggest concern. I was like, most of the time I'm like really struggling in what I'm doing because it wasn't my original profession. I didn't go to school for it originally. So I was like, man, am I doing it wrong? Am I hurting these kids? And then I talked to them. They're like, oh, I remember learning this from you. And I did. I was like, you learned something.
Kind of making a difference.
I did do it. Kind of thing. Yeah. It's really cool to see those kids and then get those letters. And it's like, I actually am doing a job.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you today. Thank you so much for taking this time after school to show your classroom and have a nice little quick little interview with you. Is there anything else you would like to say to our growing fan base?
Thank you for watching. That was super weird. I don't know why I did it like that. But thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to eventually get a lot of resources on our website as soon as I get to it. Thank you.
Bye.
That sound means that we are at the end of our podcast for today. Thank you for joining us and listening to Off the Core. We hope you had fun and heard something you liked in our activities.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to join us on our podcasting journey.